Okay, this is Martin Bryan from my guitar channel. I am an old Gen Xer, almost a boomer. So I am definitely the guy that the more popular channel, Den BMX, makes fun of. You know, and really, who can blame them? Okay, so when I do an unboxing, I've told people throughout all the unboxings I do, always open the packing slip first, in case there's problems with your guitar or your amp. I know Den doesn't do physical amps. My Marshall DSL is right over there next to my orange. Because if there's a problem, this is where you have to start in terms of returning it. Okay, so this is my second LTD guitar, ESP LTD guitar. This one is also from Sam Ash. Sam Ash, as many people know, have closed their physical stores. So people are probably like, why are you buying from them? Well, two reasons. Since they've closed their physical stores, they're trying to liquidate the inventory they have in stock. And in many cases, they're giving discounts even above and beyond what one would expect with the advertised prices. On top of that, because whether or not you have to pay state sales tax is based around the amount you sell into a state. Since they've closed all their stores in Illinois, I think 3 of them, they no longer sell enough into Illinois to take out Illinois sales tax, which is another 6.5%. So for this particular guitar you're about to see, and Den, I'm gonna send this to you and hope you watch. This is called Papar. You may have heard of it in your youth. This is an ESP LTD 401 Olympic white. So I got this at a very significant discount. Guitar Center is still selling this guitar for the full price, even though I'm sure this has been in the channel for a while. Okay, and I won't mention in this video what that full price is, but it's a lot of money that Guitar Center is selling it for. So let's start to open. Yes, I've had a heart attack. Den, I hope you never have one. So the first guitar that I got from the nice people at ESP, and you know I've been paying full price for these, except for the Sam Ash discounts. I'm not being sponsored or anything by anyone. Was the 200DX, and that had some really cool and interesting features. Enough so that I'm like, all right, I'll buy another guitar from them. So the guitar I purchased from them was really considered to be an entry level, and in many ways was different than the classic guitars that you would expect from ESP. So this is going to be much more like what one would expect in an ESP. Let's take a look, because this guy is not entry level. Sam Ash did a nice job of putting it in an outer box. If you've watched my unboxings in the past, you know I hate it when places, particularly sellers on Amazon, will ship you a guitar in just these little triangle boxes, and by the time you get it, they're beat to shit. So let's see what this Papar says. Again, this is an ESP LTD EC-401 Olympic white. Ooh. And it should be brand new. This should not be an open box. There was another organization, Sweetwater, that was selling an open box version. But I'm not buying an open box premium guitar. That's just not happening. Very lovingly sarcophagized here. Fine folks at ESP did a nice job. One thing I really like, and this was true of the cheaper one, is this neck cradle Epiphone. And I used to be an Epiphone guy. People kind of still am. Does not put these in there. And the first one I bought from these guys was shipped again by FedEx. and they shipped it to the wrong building. There's like 300 units in this apartment complex, and it had fallen down. So I think without that neck cradle, it would have been screwed. Ooh. All right, so some immediate changes from the guitar I have. The cheaper guitar I have has the dot inlays. This has the classic flags that one would expect on an LTD. Well, I'm starting to get so excited. I'll refrain from making any sexual references. And it did not have a binding, and it did not have a maple cap. It only had a maple veneer. So this is kind of much more like a classic Les Paul. Has what they call their set-through neck, which has been carved out here at the heel joint. And it has the dreaded, yes, the Boomer / Gen X Metallica Blessed EMG active pickups. I've never had active pickups before, so I'm so excited. All right, look at this beautiful beast. So I don't know if this will pick up on the camera. Supposedly that zoom is 4K, and my older zoom is like 720p. The knobs are recessed. This still has the thin U-shape and the neck volute, which I really like. I find that playing cowboy chords is much more comfortable. And then this has the Ebony fretboard. The adjustable tailpiece and bridge are all matte black. It has a slight belly scarf. Now, the one thing I really liked about that cheap one was it has a massive, massive belly scarf. So this one just has a smaller one. And again, if Denden BMX is watching, it's like my Epiphone Artist Series, Alex Lifeson. You've heard of Rush, maybe, Junior? And I'm sure this thing is not near tuned. Oh my God, it kind of is. Seems like it's tuned to D sharp, which is exactly what my first one was. And this also has an Ebony fretboard. So right away, this is much closer to, I have owned for a while and then sold off Epiphone Les Paul Customs, the Adam Jones model. He's the guy from Tool, maybe you've heard of them. It also had a binding on the body, the neck, and the headstock. But just looking at this one, I did notice on the Adam Jones a couple of small defects. Now the back was beautiful because it had art on it, but boy, this just feels really nice. Sits in your lap like a proper lady. My guitar teacher, I'm taking lessons from a guy who owns a studio and is a very well respected musician in the area. He hates guitars that sit like this. He wants them to be parallel, but this is always how I played a Les Paul. Obviously, I'm not plugged into anything. But wow, man. Can't wait to let this acclimatize because you need to do that. It's very humid in here, and when it's humid, what will happen to a guitar is it'll tend to go sharp as the wood adjusts to the humidity, and if it's too dry, the guitar will tend to go flat. But wow, right away the neck looks straight as can be. It was tuned to D sharp, and like my first one, I'm betting that the intonation is spot on, but we'll see. All right, so this has just been the unboxing. Again, I use Popar, and this is the lovely ESP EC-401 Olympic White, which I was able to get for $200 off and no Illinois sales tax, which is another 6.5%. So I got like close to 30% off on this amazing guitar, and I can't wait to plug it in and try it. Now first I'll go into my computer like that young whippersnapper, but I am going to make other videos where we go through the Marshall and the Orange. This has been Martin Bryan, old Gen X, almost a boomer, thanking you for watching this video.